most underrated NFL free agent that nobody's talking about, and one of the most interesting quarterback dominoes to watch, is XFL quarterback PJ Walker. Now, PJ Walker plays in the XFL for the Houston Roughnecks. And in the XFL season, they're at the midway point. They played 5 games. And throughout 5 games, PJ Walker has thrown for 1,338 passing yards, 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, while completing 65% of his passes. Now, PJ Walker, in my opinion, is the most underrated NFL free agent to watch, because this dude is an absolute baller. For a team that is looking for an alternative, that doesn't want to waste a first-round pick on a quarterback, they should look into PJ Walker. PJ Walker is a quarterback who can come in, sit for a year or two, be a backup, and then eventually be groomed into a starting quarterback. Now, for all of you guys that are saying, oh, PJ Walker is trash, he's a backup at best, he went undrafted for a reason, he was on a coach practice squad for a reason. Listen here, you idiot. PJ Walker is not the same quarterback he was when he went undrafted. He wasn't the same quarterback that he was when he was on the Indianapolis Colts practice squad. PJ Walker is a better quarterback than what he was a couple of years ago. You guys who say that bull crap act like nobody gets better. So I guess Kurt Warner was trash too. So Kurt Warner went undrafted, so he was trash too, huh? What about Warren Moon? Warren Moon had to play in the Canadian Football League before he became an NFL quarterback. I guess he was trash too, huh? And then you guys are going to make the argument that he's too small. He's 5'10", he's 5'11". Kyler Murray, Drew Brees, Baker Mayfield. You guys are still trying to use size as an argument of why people shouldn't be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Russell Wilson? Come on, man. So stop this narrative that just because PJ Walker wasn't good enough to make an NFL roster, that doesn't mean he's the same quarterback that he was back then. He is a better quarterback. And it's apparent because look how good he's in the XFL. Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones was on the NFL roster. He was a backup for the Chargers and the Bills. They ended up getting released. And look what he's doing in the XFL. He got benched. So stop with this narrative that just because PJ Walker wasn't good enough to make an NFL roster a couple of years ago, that he's still not good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, because he is a different quarterback. He is a better quarterback from what he was when he first came into the NFL as an undrafted free agent. That's why it's good to have leagues like the XFL where players that don't make a roster have a chance to grow, develop, and get in-game experience. The XFL is a level up from college football. It's a lot better. In the XFL, you don't just have young players like PJ Walker. You have experienced veterans, guys who have been on NFL rosters for 6-7 years. So PJ Walker is a different quarterback now than what he was when he initially came into the NFL as an undrafted free agent. And he's an interesting quarterback domino to watch as we progress through the NFL offseason, because after the XFL season, players are going to be allowed, if they get offers from NFL teams or get invited to camps, that they're going to be able to leave their respective XFL teams and be able to join those NFL teams. And if they don't make the NFL roster, they can always return to the XFL the next season. So PJ Walker is really interesting because this is a dynamic quarterback. He's very accurate, has good anticipation. Yes, he makes a couple mistakes here and there, but I mean, no quarterback is picture perfect. PJ Walker recently, and his game versus Seattle Seahawks this past weekend, had scouts from the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks come to watch him. And as we progress throughout the XFL season, more teams want to come to watch him. PJ Walker is a good alternative for a team that is looking for a young quarterback who they can groom, who can sit for a year or two behind a veteran and eventually become a starting quarterback. A team like the New Orleans Saints, a team like the New England Patriots, a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Teams that are looking for a quarterback that probably want to use a first round or second round pick on finding a quarterback in the NFL draft instead could sign PJ Walker and use that pick on something else, on another position of need. So instead of wasting a first round pick on the quarterback who you want to sit behind, starter for a couple of years and then become the starting quarterback, instead of using that first round pick on that kind of quarterback, you could pick up PJ Walker and then use that first round draft pick on somewhere else. The Oakland Raiders could be a good pick. PJ Walker is the most underrated NFL free agent this upcoming free agency. And the quarterback market is going to be interesting to watch. You got Jameis Winston, you got Tom Brady, you got all kinds of things. But the guys like P.J. Walker, you don't really see a lot of guys like P.J. Walker every year. P.J. Walker has balled out in the XFL. He's good enough and has shown enough potential that he's good enough to eventually become a starting team's starting quarterback. So the market for P.J. Walker is going to be very large. If the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans are sending scouts to go watch P.J. Walker, more teams are. P.J. Walker isn't the same quarterback he was when he first came into the league. He's a better quarterback. He's more developed. So I think P.J. Walker, he's really young. He's in his mid-20s, I believe. So he has a lot of years left in football. He can sit for a year or two, get groomed into a starter, then eventually take over as a starting quarterback and have a pretty good NFL career. So P.J. Walker, in my opinion, is a good alternative for teams that are looking for a young quarterback. You pretty much will be able to get him for pretty much an arm and a leg. He's not going to have a big contract demand, anything like that. For a team that's looking for a young quarterback who they want to groom, I think P.J. Walker would be a good pick or a good pickup. So let me know what you guys think about P.J. Walker down in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. Thanks for watching.